Hey guys, welcome to another Hunter video. I'm a Night Elf Hunter on the Whisperwind server, and right now I'm on the PTR server. And there has been some recent changes with the Beastmaster spec of the Hunter class. Now these changes only affect the Beastmaster, and I could go either way on what these changes represent. So let me just show you what the changes are. The first change, one of two, is Bestial Wrath. Bestial Wrath and the Beast Within are the changes. So Bestial Wrath now instead of lasting for 18 seconds, it lasts for 10 seconds. And so that's almost half the time that Bestial Wrath lasts while you cast it. And the other change is the Beast Within. Now also only lasts 10 seconds, which is less, almost half the time as before, but also now you have an extra 10% damage overall. So all the time you have an extra 10% damage on the hunter only. Now, seeing this, we'll start with PvP aspects of this. In PvP, this is in every way a nerf. Bestial Wrath was the bread and butter of the Beastmaster Hunter's entire tree. This is what made the Beastmaster Hunter do good in PvP and PvE alike. Now, in PvP, Bestial Wrath, if you don't know, will make you immune and break you out of pretty much any CC or crowd control or CC spells in PvP. And now instead of lasting for 18 seconds, it lasts for 10 seconds. And also there's another big damage boost with you and your pet while that is also cast. So that means less burst damage, or less time for burst damage, and also less time to be immune to CCs. Now with this change, like I said, there's no way to see this as anything but a nerf. I agree that Bestial Wrath lasted a little bit too long, but to cut the duration almost half, now you've seen pretty much the death of Bestial Wrath in PvP, and I can no longer safely say that a Beastmaster Hunter would be one of the best classes on a 1 versus 1 situation. Now let's talk about the Beast Within, and this is more for PvE. The Beast Within, so now only lasts 10 seconds, but you also have a 10% increase in overall DPS for the hunter. At first, when I saw this, I had some napkin math done, and I thought it was a nerf, but in terms of all the spreadsheets I plugged in, it seems like it is an overall buff in PvE situations. The reason why I thought it was a nerf was because it only buffed the hunter by 10% and not the pet. If you look at Bestial Wrath, the pet DPS increases by 50% when that's cast, and now that's cut in half. So to not boost the hunter and the pet's DPS to compensate was what I thought was a nerf. But what I'm gonna do also is just compare the DPS, although this is not a true test because I'm only gonna DPS for 1 minute, and a lot of things can affect this, such as luck, critical strikes, things like procs on trinkets or skills. Little things like that could really mess up the numbers. But just so you know that in the spreadsheet, it determines that this is a slight buff to Beastmaster DPS. So on the PTR server, I'm gonna try it out, and that guy's taking that dummy, so I'm gonna go to another heroic training dummy. Now just to go over how I feel about it, I don't like that Bestial Wrath has changed so much, but I do see that where the need came from, because they were pretty powerful in PvP. However, I really don't agree with the fact that Blizzard wants to change the game, or change the PvE game based on PvP changes, and vice versa. I think they should affect or act differently in terms of if you're playing PvP or PvE, and you shouldn't nerf PvE because you have to nerf something in PvP. Getting confused with all the P's and E's. Anyways, as I start off and pop all my cooldowns, I have 2800 DPS, and I end off with 2830 as my DPS to finish off the 1 minute mark. And so this is with the changes to Bestial Wrath and the Beast Within. And if you look at the damage of the pet and the hunter, the pet right now is doing 40% of my total DPS. And so that also helps with what Ghostcrawler said, that they want the hunter or Beastmaster Hunter to be less dependent on the pet's DPS. And so now I'm on the live realm without the changes done. I'm going to try to do some of this DPS again with the same test, no buffs, and on a 1 minute mark. And if you're a survival hunter, marksman hunter, don't even bother saying in the comments how you do 4k DPS or whatnot. This is unbuffed Beastmaster DPS, not just DPS but damage. So, you know, leave me alone. I don't want to hear your BS about how you do 5k on training dummies, because it's not all about DPS, and it's pretty much about damage. Alright, so ended off, I came around about 2800 DPS, and in terms of damage, my pet did 50% of the damage. So it is true that I am more dependent on pets right now in the current spec, and in terms of spreadsheets, the new changes on the PTR allow me to do more DPS, a little bit closer to marksman, but not close enough to survival. And we'll still have to see, because right now this is still early changes. This was only applied a few days ago, and there's going to be a lot more changes, such as the mana reduction costs of the Beast Within. It now also is reduced because it only lasts 10 seconds, and Ghostcrawler said they might think about changing that to, instead of costing 20% less mana, costing 50% less mana. And so they still have to balance it, and there's a lot more changes and testing that needs to go in place, and we still have to see what is going to come forward once the live realm changes are applied. But it's safe to say that Beastmaster Hunters in terms of PvP situations are heavily nerfed, and I really can't tell you how I feel about this, because I'm not much of a PvPer. It doesn't affect me that much, but I just hope it all works out for PvE Beastmaster Hunters, because we really do need help in raids and dungeons. And yeah, I think that's it. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I am gonna continue to keep track of this very important and very crucial changes to the Beastmaster class. So remember to check my website, because I might not always post videos. A lot of times I post written blogs or picture blogs. So if you want to check out my website, link to the sidebar. And so that's it. Till next time.